Hello everyone and welcome to another update on the market. For today I decided to cover British pound versus US dollar. I will speak about the gold market, crude oil, Bitcoin versus US dollar and the dollar index. I will start with the British pound versus US dollar first. So what we have here, this is the hourly time frame, and we can see that actually after the breakout of this supply trend line, market actually didn't have a power to sustain the move. So after the breakout of the 1.2, I will say 800 market lost the momentum. You can see here the market started to decrease momentum, and then we had a reversal back into this consolidation. So this is a very good sign that there is a potential failure of the buyers, and there is a chance that this is a fake breakout of this supply trend line. And this will mean that the downside scenario to potentially take the cluster the lows around 1.2685 and also this area around 1.2620 is my primary scenario and most likely scenario for this to develop further to the downside. Alternative scenario will be if the market can regain the power and eventually retake 1.2830 and then hold above. And this can then open the door for higher prices towards the 1.2900 mark. But based on the background and the current condition and the momentum, the downside scenario is more likely to resolve. If we speak about gold market, we can also see that after the breakout of our key level 2070, market didn't have a power to sustain upside move. And we spoke about this alternative scenario yesterday. So market actually broke this most recent rising trend line, and seems like there is a chance for the further downside movement to develop towards the lower reference points. And we have this at 2054 and then 2045. So I will put just horizontal lines here so you can see even you can see better here. So those are like downside reference points. If there is some bigger drop, then there is a potential for even this 2032 mark to be on the test. So most likely scenario is that downside can develop on the gold. Of course, if market can retake and again retake and trade above this rising trend line and hold above, then this can open the door for let's say 2100 to be on the test or so. But so far the downside potential is in the play. Now, speaking of the crude oil, as alerted in my previous update and analysis, the market was trading downside, so we even broke the rising trend line and actually held below. So that's a very good sign for the further downside movement. And the next reference point that we have is around 70.80 mark. So we have the lows at this point here, at this point right here and right here. So that's the next pivot point, and then if there is a bigger drop in the next period, then maybe we can even retest the low around 67.90 mark. So that's a most likely scenario for the market to develop downside on the crude oil. Now, if we can see so we can place the most recent, let's say, the supply trend line, so the market can break, let's say, alternative scenario. If the market can break this supply trend line and then trade above the 73.70, eventually try to back into this rising trend line, and that's a positive sign for the further rally towards the 76 mark. Now, speaking of the Bitcoin versus US dollar, still in a heavy consolidation. We're already trading in consolidation for many weeks, and we can see the support around 40,100 mark and resistance around 45,000 mark. Most recently, what I can see here is we had this breakout of the rising trend line, and we can see that market tried to rally back, but it failed. So it seems like there is a more chance for the downside towards the low, let's say 41,600 mark, or even to retest this key support cluster around 40,300 mark. But we're still, the price is right now in the middle of the previous of this whole trading range. Now the alternative scenario will be if the market can regain the power and trade above this 43,200 and hold above, then there is a chance for retest of 43,900 and maybe even to the resistance zone around 44,300. For now, I give more chance to the downside scenario to develop based on a previous price action in the background. Now, if we speak about the dollar index, we can see that we have a recovery that potentially started at this point. So we can see that market lost momentum and there is a strong impulsive rally at this point. So this can also be a small flag that market is building at this point. So you can see that after this rally, there is this bull flag on hourly time frame. So there is potential chance for market to retest 101.75 mark. So the alternative scenario will be the market aggressively trade below the 100 mark, 101 mark, and then hold below. Then there will be a chance for retest of the low at 100.64. That will be all for this update, guys. Hope that you did enjoy. Have a good trading day. Have a good weekend, and speak to you from the next week from Monday.